The Fox News political insiders are here. Doug Schoen, former pollster for President Bill Clinton, and a Fox News contributor, John LeBoutillier, former Republican congressman for New York, and Pat Caddell, a former pollster for President Jimmy Carter and Fox News contributor. All right, John, I want to come to you quickly first because Trump took so much criticism when it looked like he was changing gears, softening, even by his own words, ready to soften his language on illegal immigration. What needs to be in the speech?
Well, I think it would help if he would clarify what exactly his position is so that it's not the news every day that he is changing or appears to be changing. Because here's what happened last week. A spate of bad news about Hillary, the emails, the foundation. That should have been the whole news all week. But once again, the Trump campaign, by its own actions, stepped on the big story of Hillary. And I think it hurt them a little bit.
Interesting. Doug, I want to come to you out in sunny Tucson, Arizona, although it feels like you're still here with us, warming our hearts.
Thank you.
What happens when a candidate decides to delay a major speech on policy? Are they looking to sharpen a message? Are they taking some polling to see what will work? What happens behind the scenes?
All of that happens, Harris. What's happened in this case, I think, is that Donald Trump knew that he had to move away from the position of I'm going to deport 11 million people, I'm going to have a deportation force. But with the delay, the problem has been that the questions that John raised about what's his position, is he flip-flopping, is out there. And we've been talking for many months, Pat in particular, about how this has to be an insider-outsider message. And if Trump is flip-flopping, it takes away from the sharpness of his message and the cogency of his argument.
Pat?
Well, I think that this is the problem of a campaign in transition. You would have wanted to make this change on immigration, I would think, weeks and weeks ago. I mean, at least begin to modify it. There's a way to do it. Just like John said, problem is it knocks off now when the weeks start becoming precious, knocks you off your message of what you should be on. And you have to remember, when the media is so on such a jihad against Trump, anything he does will be magnified and blown out of proportion. I mean, talk about flip-flopping. His opponent has made changes in about 100 different positions during the course of the campaign, but nothing is said about it. They need to understand that they will always be put in this box, and therefore how you do these things is important because they are taking the pressure off of her. And I keep saying, the more that, if this is a candidate-to-candidate race, which is what the Clinton people are begging for, and they're worried because the polls are closing and it's getting closer. Well, that race is to her benefit. What benefits Trump is a race of a referendum on where the country is and where it is not, where it should be.
All right, so here's a question that I asked a Democrat whom I interviewed last week, and she said she did not know. So you're tearing Donald Trump down, Hillary Clinton, for the things he said about illegal immigration, and now it looks like he's flip-flopping, blah, 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 blah. What is her actual policy on immigration? And I asked one of our Democrat guests, and she didn't seem to know. She said, well, she doesn't have to talk about it because she loves amnesty.
I think she's got the Obama position.
No, she's further than Obama. Remember, she said...
My point is, she also hasn't given a major speech on immigration. Go ahead, Doug.
And she's not going to. Trust me, Harris. Because for her, she sees that there are more votes to be lost in it than to be won. And what Pat was saying is exactly the Clinton strategy. Keep personalizing the campaign, attack Donald Trump, and make this a referendum on him. Because a referendum on him, she will win. A referendum on her, she could lose. Pat alluded to the fact that the polls are now tightening. While Hillary is ahead in every swing state and virtually every national poll, it nonetheless is the case that things are getting tighter. And it is because this is a change election with two unpopular candidates.
Gosh, I hear you saying that, and it almost sounds like you're saying as Mr. Trump weighs into the deeper end of the issues, she'd rather attack him than come up with policy?
But she can't come up with a policy that's credible. The problem for her is people, I saw this in the Quinnipiac polls and others, they don't believe what she says anyway about her positions. They figure she'll say whatever she needs to get elected. Her thing is she wants to say, I'm competent, I have experience, he doesn't, he's dangerous, vote for me. But anything that takes away from that, hurts her. She does not have the ground to move. She cannot become an insurgent. And Trump is the insurgent, and it's difficult if you're not playing your best
But
card.
Harris, I agree with that, Pat, but here's the problem with Trump. And Kellyanne's trying to fix it. I don't blame her. But there are two campaigns here. There's Hillary against Trump, and there's Trump against Trump. And until he settles that thing down to get the focus back on Hillary, he's not going to make it.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because
there's one other
arguably he
thing.
is doing that, right? With all of these
There
changes
is one
he
other
made
thing.
and all these voices, new voices.
$100 million from Hillary against Trump unanswered on TV,
More.
which so far has made
More,
a big...
more,
That's an
Doug.
interesting point.
More.
Okay.